I tried to be cute and I have my hair look like this, parted in the middle. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. But my little cousin of 7 over there who helps me out, my little producer, 18-year-old 7, he saw my hair like this and he went, ew, don't put your hair like that. You look gross. He always humbles me. Thank you, Esteban, for humbling me. Thank you for listening and hanging out with me for another episode of Crystal's Nightcap. You guys, make sure that you are subscribed wherever you are listening. I'm on all platforms, wherever your podcast app is. And of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, most Tuesdays and Thursdays, Crystal's Nightcap can be seen on YouTube. So if you're getting ready in the morning and like to watch something, you can watch me on YouTube and listen up to what's been going on in the news recently. Ew, I've been kind of stumbling on my words. Sorry about that. It's been a long day. This is like the 3rd podcast I've recorded tonight. So we like to start off Crystal's Nightcap with Hand Me the Headlines. This is a segment where I talk about celebrity news, things that were popping off, anything trending. And this is really interesting to me. Do you guys remember the Fyre Festival that went completely viral last year? A lot of huge celebrities were promoting this mysterious Fyre Festival on their socials. No one really knew what it was about, but it looked very enticing, and their marketing was A1. It turned out that this huge Fyre Festival that was supposed to be on one of Pablo Escobar's old islands that he used to own, it was just a fluke. I mean, there was no organization, if you remember. They were promised beachfront cabanas. It looked like World War II on an island. It was so bad. They were promised luxury food. They got like ham and cheese sandwiches in a styrofoam little container. It was really bad. And the face of this Fyre Festival, the rapper who promoted it a lot, in mogul, I would say, was Ja Rule. Ja Rule had a lot to do with the promotion of the events. Even though a lot of celebs and big name models like Bella Hadid and Kendall Jenner were promoting the event as well, were paid to promote the event. It was really Ja Rule who kind of like was the face of this festival that was supposed to be this dope festival, like I said, on an island. Everything luxury and huge celebrities and stars were going to be there. Well, because it was a fluke, there's a huge class action lawsuit going against the creator of the Fyre Festival, and Ja Rule was also involved in this class action lawsuit. But luckily, today, Ja Rule was officially removed from the class action lawsuit. So this is $100 million lawsuit going on right now being filed. And the judge said that even though he was like the face of promoting it, he could not be held liable because he was not aware or intended for the event to be such a failure. This is what it says. And I kind of agree with the judge. I mean, if you didn't watch these Fyre Festival documentaries that were on Netflix and they were on Hulu, really good documentaries. One even went viral for a member of the team who had to who at one point was even considering doing some sexual acts in favors in exchange to keep this festival going, this fire hazard of a festival. The documentaries were really good. But when you saw the documentaries, you kind of understood that it was the guy who had the idea behind Ja Rule was really the scammer out here. And he was lying to people left and right. He was dodging questions. He was getting investments, a lot of money, but he was using it more so to promote the event instead of actually putting on a good event. So even though some people might think that, hey, Ja Rule, you're promoting this, your face is behind this, you should know what you're promoting and you should be held accountable. No, I think that someone in Ja Rule's position could be getting told a whole bunch of lies, a whole bunch of things, would believe that this is how the festival is going to turn out. And at the end of the day, clearly it was just a disaster. So I think that, like I said, the judge is fair in ruling this. I feel like obviously that CEO guy who was behind it all, I forget his name now, he's the one who should 100% be held accountable because, as you know, stated in the documentary, he was the one lying to everyone and making this seem like it was going to be this grand spectacular, well, that too, event that it clearly wasn't. All those details, if you want to check out for yourself, they are up at lacrystalrosas.com. Okay, this next story, I am so obsessed with, and I might fly out to be a part of this. So if you've driven from the Bay Area to Vegas, or maybe just ever driven anywhere to Vegas, you might have passed Area 51. All right, so for you all who don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably know what I'm talking about, but Area 51 is this huge piece of land in the desert, like over 5,000 square miles. And all around Area 51, it's first of all blacked off. There are signs everywhere that warn against trespassing and say that if you do trespass, like you can be shot and killed. Everyone knows that you are not allowed to step 1 foot into the proximity of what is considered Area 51. I remember like me and my family would take road trips to Vegas all the time. And my dad would always be like, we're passing Area 51. And I didn't really know what it was. It was my brother who told me everything about it. It was like this. It opened in the 60s and we don't know what it is. The government has only recently acknowledged that it was a thing. When you go on Google Earth, like on Google Maps, you zoom in on Area 51 and it's all blurred out. Like it's blurred out. The government went in and blurred out what Area 51 looks like. It's super mysterious. The government says that it's an area for like training and, I don't know, like putting off like practicing training with air flights and all that stuff. I don't really know like the technicalities of what they're actually saying, but most of us think that the government is hiding aliens there because there's a few people actually who have came out and spoken after allegedly working at Area 51 and saying that the government was one making UFOs or that they had like a center for aliens and all that. So there's a lot of people out here, a lot of us out here who believe Area 51 is the government hiding like all alien activity that's ever been known to us. So there's this man who decided to make a Facebook group. He is clearly fed up with the secrets behind Area 51. And this man made a Facebook group called Storm Area 51. And it already has over 300,000 members, 365 people who are confirmed to attend this event. And let me tell you what the description for the Facebook group says, because I was dying when I was reading this. He says, "We will all meet up at the Area 51 Alien Center tourist attraction and coordinate our entry. If we Naruto run," referring to like, I don't know if you have seen the memes, but like the cartoon Naruto, like they be running like this. They be running hella fast like this. He says, "If we all Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens." Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If you trespass even a step into Area 51, it is said that you can get gunned down immediately because there's a lot of militia that are guarding Area 51. And people are really trying to go in on this. People are really trying to set this up. And, unfortunately, I maxed out on all my vacation days. Y'all know I'm going here, I'm going there, so I can't take more days off. And I have even more trips planned that I have to save for my days off. So I can't go and be a part of this. But if I did have extra days off, I would be there just to document it, just to vlog it, just to see the hype, see what people are actually doing. Do I think that aliens are really at Area 51? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that thinks the universe is so big, of course there are aliens. And I'm also the kind of person who's like, yeah, I think the aliens have came to Earth. I personally haven't seen aliens. I know people that I don't personally, actually, do I know anyone who said they've seen aliens? No. But I've seen a lot of documentaries and stuff about people who have the exact same story about how they got abducted by aliens. What a coincidence that everyone has these same stories. It's like weird collective unconsciousness that a lot of people have over, like across the world. People from this part of the world had this story about aliens. Someone else on this side of the world has a different story about aliens that is pretty much the same story. I think it's very possible that aliens are a thing. I think it's odd that the government has a huge land of area in the middle of this desert and have barely acknowledged it, won't tell anyone what's going on. It seems fishy to me, which is why I've heard that this could be possible, that they're hiding aliens. And there's a few theories about why the government is hiding aliens. Obviously, one is that they don't want to scare us and, they have communication with them and don't want the normal people, us peasants, to know what really is going on. But I do not think that this event will actually go down. I feel like, it's just, you really want to be a martyr for that, for trying to find out what is in Area 51. This is what I feel like is going to happen. I feel like, did they even set a date? I don't know. I haven't looked into it too crazy much. I don't know if they set a date yet. Oh wait, they must have. But I feel like they're all going to get together. on this day, and I mean, hella people are gonna show up, and there's just gonna be like a lot of people, like nosy people, trying to look around, seeing if people will actually go down with this. I would be that kind of person. I wouldn't really want to cooperate in the running in there because I'm scared. I'm for sure scared. But I would want to see what's going down, and I feel like most people would do that. There's going to be very few people who are actually going to try to run into Area 51 because it's serious. I mean, these signs are no joke. They're saying like warning, like military installation, like you can be killed if you cross this. So yeah, no trespassing, restricted area beyond this point. Photography is prohibited. Warnings, like all these restrictions, hella signs all over Area 51. So if people are gonna run in, they're clearly crazy. Like you're crazy to run in and actually do this. But I'm down for like the little cheese man that's going on. I'm trying to see if it's actually happening. That story you can check out for yourself, lacrystalrosas.com. And this is actually breaking news tonight that R. Kelly, he was arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. Law enforcement are saying that he's going to be taken to the New York Police Department. He is being charged on 13 count indictment, including charges of child pornography, enticement of a minor, and obstruction of justice. People haven't really commented yet. R. Kelly's people haven't commented, but the last time he got locked up, he just like set bail and it was fine. And that was for a video with an alleged 13-year-old. She decided not to testify. And so that kind of like made everything weird because, I mean, if the person, like if the witness doesn't want to testify against him, then there really isn't a case. So it's going to be pretty difficult. I don't know. It seems like they have a lot of stuff on him right now, though. I think it's about time. Like, how long has these things with R. Kelly been going on that he's barely getting charged with sex trafficking and the rest of it? I hope that justice is served. From everything that we've heard and learned about him, and then his like odd interviews, he doesn't look like he's sane in the head, and I think that he does need to be locked up. And I personally think that we do need to mute him. I've never talked about this on the podcast before, and the muting and cancel culture is very interesting these days because it feels like people are getting it left and right. But when it comes to children, young girls, and trafficking like this, I really stand strongly against it. I feel like it's very easy for a grown adult male artist with a lot of power to manipulate young females. I think it's not okay at all for him to be using his status and power against them. And I think that he should be held accountable. And I think that it doesn't sit well with me when I hear him playing. Like, I've heard a lot of DJs personally that I know who mute him. I also know a lot of DJs who don't mute him, who say, well, if I mute him, then I'm going to have to mute, Chris Brown or someone else for like, where is the line? Like, where can you cross the line? This has been a topic for a very long time. I understand. But when I hear a DJ playing R. Kelly, or when I hear R. Kelly out here, I cringe. And it's gotten to a point even where I have told people to change it. I will be that girl. I don't care. I will tell someone to turn someone off if it's killing my mood and vibe. What do you think? I mean, I know there's a lot of people who feel like he's innocent and, unfortunately blame these young females and say, well, if they want to be there, then it's fine. If you're underage, it's not fine. It's illegal. So yeah, hit me up on socials. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Are you muting R. Kelly, or, do you not? You think that we should mute someone until they are actually found guilty? I don't know. Hit me up. You guys know where I am, at La Crystal Rosas on all socials. So yesterday, let's do this. Let's take our little Crystal's nightcap drink. Let's take our sippy. I have some espresso right here that I tried to ice down earlier, and it is nasty as heck. Let's take our little nightcaps into Crystal's cave. You know how I like to do it. We're going to wander into the dark, moist crevices and just talk about whatever went on in the day and in my life. So last night's episode of Crystal's Nightcap, if you did not hear, it was a pretty interesting one. When we talked in Crystal's cave, I talked about how my grown cousin, she threatened me in my Instagram DMs. And if you didn't hear that one, it was pretty interesting. You should definitely go back and listen to it. The premise was that she wanted me to help her promote something that I honestly just wasn't passionate about. And she's also has done some shady stuff to me publicly in the past. So I just didn't really want to help her too crazy, but I did promote her event anyways, and she ended up kind of like attacking me for, I guess, not meeting her expectations of how she wanted me to support her. And she also told me, I will see you at grandpa's birthday party. So I was kind of like, okay, my grandfather's turning 97. Like, are you trying to throw hands? Like, I'm not trying to fight. What is going on here? And I told you guys that I told my mom about this situation. You guys know I'm very close to my mom. I really value her opinion, but she's very conservative. She hates that I overshare about my life. She wants the best for me. She's like the best mom ever and just wants the best for me. And sometimes my decisions and like what I do not sit well with her. And when I when I told her about this situation yesterday, like when it all went down, she was the one to tell me to not even bother with it, to just be the bigger person. And I tried to be the bigger person and, tell my cousin that I'm sorry if I didn't meet her expectations. And I tried to be the bigger person about it. But my cousin ended up just saying that I was full of ish and just kind of like talked crazy down to me. And that really triggered me. And my podcast last night was aggressive. It was very aggressive. If you are subscribed to me and have your notifications on for my podcast, you heard before 10 a.m. the unedited version. I ended up taking some parts out on YouTube and in the real podcast because I was being super petty. And my mom, when I went home last night, so if you have my notifications on, you heard me being way extra petty than I should have been, okay? And when I got home, my mom wanted to talk to me about it, and I told her that I put it on that I talked about it on the podcast, and she was like, "No, mija, that is not what you should be doing. You said that you were going to be the bigger person, and you're not being the bigger person by talking about this publicly." And I told her, "Mom, like, I didn't really say anything bad. You should listen to it and tell me if I crossed the line." So I left. I went home. My mom listened to it, and she called me, and she was like, "You said this. Okay, so this is pretty much like I was being petty. Like I was pretty much contradicting myself and being a hypocrite by saying that I wasn't going to be petty, but then I was trying to be the bigger person, but then I said some messed up stuff. What really hurt me was the fact that my cousin Charlie, as we were nicknaming her, was kept bringing up my nail girl Betty Cakes and how I promote her all the time, and then like using that against me as if like you think that's important but not my cause, And she doesn't know the relationship with Betty Cakes and I, so it really sat wrong with me. And I said some things along the line. I just said some messed up stuff, which first of all, like wasn't even true. And it was just me being super petty. And I wish that I didn't say that. And that's what my mom told me. She's like, "You said this and you're basically being a hypocrite. Like you're saying that you want to be the bigger person and you're using Michelle Obama quotes, but then you're going to attack her and say bad stuff about her. That's not right, Mija. Like you should take it down or, you shouldn't be acting that way." And I was like, "You know what, Mom? Like you're right." So I just edited it because I still wanted it up and I still wanted to share my side. And my mom had some serious thoughts about me sharing the podcast, which I will text to you. Or, I will share with you. So, this is what my mom said. Oh, yeah. She was just telling me that my comments crossed the line. My mom said, "Crystal, towards the end of your podcast, some of your comments really crossed the line. I know that she crossed the line, but you do not have to act like her." And then, my mom put a text with me and Esteban. So Esteban was like caught in the middle, unfortunately. My little cousin Esteban, who always helps me here, my 18-year-old cousin was caught in the middle because my mom had a whole group chat with me, him, and her because Esteban is also like my guidance. Like if I post something or do something, I'll always run it by him first. And when we were recording here, he did tell me that you were being a little petty, but that it was okay because she was extra petty. But then my mom kind of brought us back to reality. And this is what like my mom texted me and Esteban. My mom said, "Crystal, you completely contradict yourself on your rant. You say she put stuff publicly and that should have been private, but you just did the same thing. This is not a stranger. You should have kept it private and been the bigger person. Now you're on the same boat as her. You made it personal. You crossed the line. I understand how you feel and I agree, but you should have let time take care of things and been the bigger person like you're always preaching. Just my point of view." And I said, "Mom, I hear you. She just proved that she wasn't family to me by what she said. And I feel like I owe her nothing at this point." And also, like, I feel like the situation that I'm sharing with you is honest. And I feel like a lot of people are in this, it can be in positions like this with their family. So I want to be real with y'all. Like I think I might have said this in last night's episode as well, that I don't want my life to look like it's a cookie cutter perfect thing, because it's not. There are problems that happen between me, my friends, relationships, and family. And I know that a lot of y'all out there can relate. And it's just true. So I don't have a problem sharing facts and how I actually feel. My mom also said, I said, Mom, she proved to me she wasn't family with what she said, and I feel like I owe her nothing. She says, I understand, I agree, but you put it out there on a big platform, and that's not fair for her. She doesn't have the platform you have. And I said, I have no problem in making it public at this point, since she says all I do is make myself look like a fool. And she says, yeah, Crystal, but that was private to you. And I said, I know. I make everything public, Mom. She even wanted followers from me. I didn't say her name. I know what you mean, but I tried to be nice to her, and she told me that I was full of ish. Like, I tried to be nice. I tried to be the bigger person, and when I tried to do that, she totally discredited it and tried to make it seem like I was being fake. I wasn't trying to be fake. I was trying to squash it all and just be the bigger person and walk away. But I really feel like she was antagonizing me and like trying to get it out of me to do more stuff, which I mean, I guess worked, because I did a whole podcast about it. She says, yes, I was like, Mom, I was honest, and this is me being petty. And she says, okay, we all make decisions in life, and we all have to deal with the consequences. Yeah, you didn't say her name, but you talked about the disease. She's one of the only people in our circle who have that. Of course, her disease is vitiligo, the skin pigmentation disease that I talked about in the last episode. You talked about the disease. She's the only one in our circle who has that. Of course, everyone's going to know who you're talking about in her family, except the people who don't actually know her. And I said, I know, Mom, we don't agree, but I tried my best to be nice, and I won't let people act however they want towards me. That's kind of like how I put it. And I also said that if there's people in our circle that know her, they probably won't be surprised to hear the story of how she reacted and like how she was being towards me. I'm not like throwing shade by saying that, like, but I feel like everyone in our family, we know each other pretty well. And some of us are hotheads. Some of us, you know, are going to act like this or throw, you know, a tantrum when something doesn't go their way or their expectations weren't met. And I honestly feel that my family members hearing this story wouldn't be like, oh, that's shocking or surprising. They would be like, yeah, you know, she's a strong woman, and when she has something on her mind, she will let it be known and say it, no matter how aggressive her approach is. That's just how she is, right? And this is how I am. You know, if something happens in my life, whatever happens in my life, the most embarrassing things that happen in my life, I share them with you. And this is, I don't know, this is just my way of being me and kind of like letting things out. It's a tough situation. Oh, I just spilled coffee. Sevan, can you get towels? Thank God I didn't spill on anything except for the thing. Can you get towels in the bathroom, please? Oops. Awkward. So yeah, I said that I was going to talk about this tonight. For the most part, a lot of the messages and interactions that I've been getting from the podcast and the YouTube video so far have been like a lot of people taking my side, but I also feel like you guys have a bias. You guys listening to me and watching me. You guys have seen me, a lot of you have seen me for a long time, and we're friends, like we're cool. I share my life with you, and a lot of you guys interact with me and I respond. So I do understand I have a bias on my end of things. There was one of my friends who told me I hear what she says, but I hear her side of things too, but she's in the DJ business, and she knows that, like, she says that a lot of her family knows that people ask things of her all the time. So people in her family just don't even ask anymore. I don't know. My mom says that she knows that we are both in the wrong. And what I think that my mom is really concerned about is the family. I don't really think she cares about me putting it out to the public and what people who we don't know think about the situation or about me sharing this. I think that my mom she's just disappointed that I shared this and hoped that I didn't, because this is our family and we have to see them all the time. Like, not all the time. We see them maybe like once or twice a year, but it's definitely gonna it's probably gonna make people take sides, unless you know, which sucks. And it's probably gonna make things a little weird when we get together at family events. I mean, I am not embarrassed of anything. I am, I still, thank you. I stand by sharing this. I stand by what I said. I feel like she was very out of line, and I feel like she really was taunting and bullying me. I feel like I was I was contradicting myself by like kind of saying some petty things, and kind of like I feel like I could have been more Michelle Obama than I was trying to put out or make myself look. My mom said that at the end of the podcast that I had last night, I was sounding kind of cocky and that's not cool at all. I just was really angry, and I was talking to this with the Sevan earlier because like I was trying to figure out what really triggered me the most. And what really triggered me the most was when she was like, "You're ratchet." But then I was like, I am kind of ratchet. So I guess, I don't know, like, should I have really been mad that she said that? And then also saying like, all you do is make a fool of yourself. I do make a fool of myself a lot of the time, but just the way that she was saying it, it was just rude. Y'all heard how she came at me, how my cousin Charlie came at me yesterday. And then, on top of it, I was trying to be the bigger person and she wasn't letting me. So, I could only take so much. And, looking back and hearing parts of the podcast back yesterday, I'm like, ooh, Crystal, like you sound really bitter too. You sound really pressed. Like maybe I should have like laughed it off more and kind of made it more lighthearted instead of being so just like, this, okay? Okay, honey, sweetie. Because I was doing that and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. But that's really how I felt at the moment. And I mean, I'm not going to take anything down. I don't regret what I said or posting anything like I said. And I need the clicks. I need the clout. This is my job. I'm going to be real honest with you guys. It was just a really unfortunate situation. It just really, really sucks. And, you can't really mend something like this because she's the kind of person who I know will not apologize. She's going to think that she's right. I mean, I hope I can get proved wrong. I don't know what else I could have done to change the situation, really. I mean, maybe I just shouldn't have retaliated back when she was antagonizing me. I guess this is more of a learning situation as well. But if I did just drop it, like my mom said, it would have been trash content. Like this is good content. You know what I'm saying? Like this happens. This is really happens in the real world. So I don't know if. My family sees this. I'm not expecting anyone to take sides. I said what I had to say. She privately said what she had to say. I felt taunted. I felt like she was really trying to press me to, being politically correct doesn't look good on you. Okay, well then, if you're calling me petty, I'll be petty and talk about it publicly because, whatever. I'm getting like really hot and flustered talking about this because it's like, it's kind of like an embarrassing situation. I do kind of feel bad, but I also don't kind of feel bad because like other people who I've talked to, I mean, even like my little cousin is 7 is like, this is what she deserves. Like she deserves this, period. And I'm like, I know, but I don't know. It's a sticky situation. I don't hate her. I mean, I don't wish ill will towards her. That's my cousin at the end of the day. It's my family. If maybe we can talk it out as adults, I just don't see her. I just don't see that happening. So that's why I did what I did. That's why I shared what I shared. And that's that on that. I don't know. Do you guys think that I made the right decision by putting the situation publicly? Do you think that I should have listened to my mom and just kept it private? I don't know. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong answer to this. It's just a topic of conversation. But, I really do care what you listeners think, and I don't want you to feel biased by this. I always want your guys' honest opinions as well. Just as I share my life with you, honestly, I want honest feedback, and I want to grow, and I want to be better every day. And, like, listening to some parts of the podcast last night, I was just like, Crystal, you sound hella petty. You sound hella pressed. Laugh things like this off and like maybe I shouldn't be too serious about it because I feel like it would have been maybe a better take on it. But I did mean what I said. If y'all have any businesses, if y'all have any events or anything you want me to help promote, hit me up. I'm down. I need to do a little more giving back. So let's do that. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Crystal's Nightcap. You know where to find me on socials. I'm at La Crystal Rosas. Anywhere that you're listening, make sure you subscribe. I mean, the few hundred of you who were able to catch the episode that I didn't edit, y'all unfortunately heard me being way too petty, and I do regret that. I do regret some things that I said. before I edited it out. Um, but that's maybe just an incentive for you to subscribe. I don't know. Thank you so much for listening. You guys know that I'm also on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays. So see this little radio face on YouTube. I'm at La Crystal Rosas there too. Check out my blog, lacrystalrosas.com. I have all the stories I talked about and more up there as well. All right, y'all. That's that on that. And I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.